Hey there, come on in, come on in. Welcome back to another episode of Lead Like a CEO. I'm your host, Chevy, and welcome to another live episode. As you all come in, drop in the chat where you're joining from. Also, share what you do as well too. But I'm your host, Chevy, and I help high performance. I help school superintendents and principal to lead high performance schools without running themselves into the ground. And as a retired Air Force veteran of 22 plus years, facilitator, author of my book, Woman Breed, I have been in the classroom. I've helped to transition one school from one location to the next. And also, I've been an instructor supervisor, math instructor, uh, as well too. So when it comes to being in the classroom, creating impact, creating change, and shifting how things are done, I've done it. But today we're talking about that July slum, okay? Because if you're an educator, if you're a leader in the school space, you know, like during the summer months, you're enjoying the summer, but right when July, as we are currently at the end of July, we feel that nudge in our gut, okay? And yes, there's excitement, but also there's some uncertainty that we are brewing up in ourselves. And maybe that's where you're at currently right now, because the summer is good, which again, that's our time to reset. That's your time to reconnect and be fully present with your family. But also, as we approach the end of July into August, especially if you're here in the South or if you're East Coast, that will be closer to August. But the school year is about to begin, and you might be feeling some things, nervousness, you might be feeling uncertainty, you might be feeling like, can I do this again? You might be asking yourself right now as a school leader, am I mentally ready to step fully into the school year? Okay. Also, you might be asking yourself, am I stepping into the leadership and the leader that I need to be for this upcoming school year? And you also might be asking yourself, this will this be a repeat of last year's school experience, whether that's in the classroom as a teacher, whether that's a superintendent, whether that's a principal or an AP principal, or maybe you're an admin person in the school and you're like, is this going to be, am I going to show up the same way as last year? I'm going to have the same experience. Am I going to burn out? And if these are questions you've been asking yourself as you get ready to step fully back into your role as a school leader, I want you to really sit with that for a second. Okay. Like sit with that and really think of, how do you want this school year to be different from last year? How do you want to end 2026-27 school year feeling the energy as well? Because I'm talking about the whole, not just the school, but you as the individual. How do you want to feel when you get to May, when you get to June of 2027? And as you're feeling this, and I know from experience, sometimes we have the Sundays blues, because we're like, oh, that anxiousness, that anxiety, that fear, or what you're feeling to go back into that classroom or back into that not even the classroom, back into the building. Okay. Back into the building where you love doing what you do, but you know that because of past experience, because of just life happening, because of the overwhelm, the stress, that caused you to feel a certain way, sometimes stepping into that building gives you a response that is not good for your nervous system. Okay. And you might be experiencing this currently right now, because we, like I said, and I'm going to keep repeating, we are close to restarting the school year. I'm already in prep mode as a mom, getting my kids ready for school within the next 2 weeks. Like we have 2 weeks and we are back into the school process. So I understand. I'm excited. I'm excited to get them back back in school and get them, learning and being with their teachers and so forth. But I do understand from a teacher perspective, from an educator perspective, from a leader, from a superintendent perspective, the overwhelming emotions and uncertainties and questions that you may have. And I want you to really think about you, because in this moment, during this time, as we prep, I'm saying we, but as you prep for getting back in and walking through those doors, there's a lot of things that are prepping you to be ready for the school, for the classroom, for the professional development, to making sure that you all hit your requirements that are required to get started for that school year. But my question to you is, who is creating a plan and making sure that you have something in place to take care of you? I'm going to say that again. Everything right now is helping you to prepare as you step back into the building, the school building, from the PD, the schedule, setting up the classroom, looking at the roster, training, meeting requirements, expectations for the school year. But when it comes to you as the educator, whether that's the principal, the superintendent, the AP, the curriculum designer, the classroom instructor, who is giving you the tools and the guidance to make sure that you are prepared fully to step into your position as that leader? Who is doing that for you? And I want you to think, because as you're stepping into that building, there are things that are happening internally with your body. There are things that are causing you to respond a certain way, and sometimes it could be a person. It could be the ability not to make effective decisions, or you're questioning your decision making, or you're questioning, okay, do you trust yourself to step fully into this leadership role? These are things that you might be questioning yourself as you are getting back into the flow of being in the school, being back into that building. And you know, there will be some chaos, there will be some challenges, there will be some doubts, there will be some fears, there will be uncertainties, all the things. But I want to make sure that as you're stepping into this, that you are prepared to your best ability. And that means we are pouring into you, because with the July slump, we know there's emotions going on right now. You're experiencing certain things right now as you are preparing to go back into the school, because you know it's going to be a full year of fun, challenges, excitement, maybe grief because of people, leaving, family, all the things. But I'm going to go back and keep going back to this. What are you doing to make sure that you are setting yourself up to not only enter the school year feeling great, feeling energized, but feeling that during the midterm of your school year, but also at the end of your school year? And I remember when I was an educator on active duty, when I was teaching young military individuals to learn their job, but also go off. And I was going through my own challenges, with anxiety and having to still show up in that building. And honestly, just pulling into the parking lot, that was like I had the Sundays blues. I'll say that I had the Sundays blues. And literally, I would be counting down the hours before I had to go to bed, before I had to get up and start my day again, because it was like I was dreading going back into that building because of just the stress and the anxiety and the overwhelm of not only having to still show up and support 26 students, but also my subordinates, but also do training, but also kids and life and the home. So I understand what you may be experiencing, but you also have to look at how can you start pouring into you. And that is a decision that I had to make, and it took time. But what I did during my journey to be able to not only keep showing up and being burnt out and being anxious and still teaching and just kind of wanted to escape, I had to start pouring into me. And what I did, I was able to one, start with the mindset piece. And this is what we focus on in the Lead Well program, which is a program that I created based on my lived experience. So this is not just me just putting something together and say, here you go. No, what I created was based on my lived experience as a military person, as an educator, because a lot of this experience that I dealt with, from the anxiety, the fear, and all the things, was during my time on active duty, but also during my time as an educator. So I understand that when what you're feeling for this July slump right now, and maybe the anxiousness that the anxiety that you're feeling, or the nervousness that you're feeling, and questioning, can I do this coming school year? Yes, you can. But when you have the things in place to make sure that you, not only the school, not only the classroom, not only the students, that you are set up for success as well. And that is what I have used for myself, what I've provided to other clients, but also I want to make sure that this program is also available for you, whether you're a superintendent, an AP principal, a classroom lead, instructor and supervisor. Like, if you're in the school environment and you know that, hey, you know it's going to be a year, a year of, different things happening, challenges, but you know that you want to be mentally prepared, not only mentally, but you want to make sure that physically you are prepared, but also the ability to manage the challenges that will come, because you will experience some challenges, but also be able to recover through all of it that will happen and that you will experience. Then I want to invite you to my Lead Well program. This is a live experience that I am guiding you on, that hits 5 core pillars that I utilize to help me make sure that I pour into me while I was going through my own challenges, and while I was still serving and traveling and teaching others as well. So we start with the mindset piece. That is the core of what we focus on. And it's not just mindset talk. No, this is really looking at how you show up as an individual, but also as a leader, not only in the school aspect, but in your own personal life. Because I believe you have to start with you. Like Simon Sinek, his book, Start With Why. I'm telling you, start with you. Because when you're able to identify and own your leadership skills, how you show up, but also making sure that you have the resources in place to navigate those challenges without losing you in the process. Now you're able to show up. Now you're able to make effective decisions when things are still chaotic. Because being in the military for 22 years, that has allowed me to show up and be able to still make effective decisions in high stress environments, when things are happening, when things are moving. And I want you to get to that point to where you are grounded and you are still able to make effective decisions. You're still able to communicate what is it that you need, whether that's in the classroom, whether that's as a superintendent, whether that's in a principal or an assistant principal. Like, you're still able to communicate and articulate what is it that you need to get done, what message that you're trying to deliver. But we start with you. We start with looking at the mindset and the self-leadership aspect of how you are shown. And then we go into making sure we focus on movement, because we have to focus on ourselves, and then sustaining the things that we are doing so that we can complete the school year with more clarity, more confidence, more joy, and more energy, instead of the opposite. So if you are in this space of leading a school, being part of a school, and hey, I want to make sure that I pour into me before I step foot back into this school setting, then I want you to send me the word strength, because we are building your toolbox of strength so that you can step fully into this school year with the tools and the things that you need. And again, this is based on lived experience from me, your facilitator, your guide. So this is not just, I'm like something just thrown together. This is really what I utilize for myself and also for past clients as well. And again, if you're interested and you want to learn more about this, reach out to me, because as an educator, you're already pouring into your students, you're already pouring into the school. Let me pour into you so that you can show up better, so you can create the impact and the change that you know you want to make in this school year. All right. So if you're feeling that July slump before you step back in, I want you to connect with me. You can follow me here. You can send me a DM if you have any questions or you just want to connect with me. Send me a DM and I would love to connect. But if you are that leader and you're like, okay, I know last year was a tough year and I need someone to support me and help me set that foundation, because this is the foundation, but that foundation is you, my friend. Send me the word strength, because I'm here to help build you up to step fully into this 2026-2027 school year. As always, I want to thank you for joining me in the Executive Innovation Show, where we focus on helping superintendents, principals, and school leaders to run effective and high-performing schools without running themselves into the ground, okay? And as a 22 plus year Air Force veteran, I know from lived experience. I'm also the author of my book, Woman Breed, helping you to lead through life, career, and business while thriving in every season. And if you're like, hey, Chevy, I want to get a copy of this book, you can go to my website at Woman Breathe. The word is womanbreathe.com and get your copy. And you don't only get the book, you also get the workbook that comes along with it. So it's pretty much, you can read it. There's reflective questions in here, but also there's things that you can actually complete in here to help you step more fully into the thing that you're doing as a leader, but also how to navigate those challenges and really step fully into your self-leadership and how you show up as well. But definitely grab that if you will love a copy, or if you will love to say, hey, we want to bring you in to speak on this. By all means, reach out to me and connect with me. I would love to connect with you on that as well. But my purpose of today's live was to really share about the July slump and what you may be feeling as a school leader and how you can get out of that through connecting with me to learn more about my Lead Well 6-week program. So we spend 6 weeks together. And if that's something that you're interested in, I invite you to reach out, and that's it. All right, y'all. Well, have an amazing day as always. And if there are any questions, drop it here in the comment. And if you are like, hey, I want to just send you a private question, you can do so as well. All right, y'all. Well, have an amazing day, and I will see you all next Wednesday.